Hiya folks. So thank you very much for responding to my shout out a couple of weeks ago after I drove the E46 M3. I said I'd love to drive a E46 or any other M3 for that matter, and you responded. I actually had offers of 3 different M3 E46 and I decided to go with this one today. This particular one is in Phoenix yellow and it really looks like what I think an M3 should look like. It's subtle, but the colour is shouty as well at the same time. I don't know whether that makes sense to you or not. The car itself, beautiful shape, very subtle, and then the colour just makes it pop, and you know this is going to be something special. So, my own history with BMW M3s, I said my BMW 3 Series, I said in the last video, I made a reference about the 4-cylinder ones, the 318s and 316s, as being the poor man's car, or the one you bought if you couldn't afford something better, or if you wanted to spend more money than sense, I suppose, and have a BMW. I actually owned one of those. I owned an E46 318 Ci, and apparently I was told it had 140 horsepower, but I could never find them because it was always dog slow. This car is not dog slow. This is definitely fast. But, and there's a big but coming in here, I went in driving the E36 thinking, I'm not going to like this car. I know before I get into this car I'm not going to like it. And I actually ended up loving it. It was so alive. This car, they've essentially taken the E36, refined it a lot, and I don't necessarily think it's all the better for it. It's, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, it's a brilliant car, don't get me wrong. So these criticisms are, in the grand scheme of things, if I was offered one of these, I'd definitely take it with both hands. But it's just not as raw as the E36. It's more refined. I suppose you could live with it a lot easier on a daily basis. You could drive it a lot easier. It's really comfortable. It's a lot more soundproofed. You don't hear the road noise. You don't hear the engine noise as much. But I'm not entirely sure that that's always a good thing. The E36 was a bit rawer. This is a bit more refined. It's a great car, and as I said, don't get me wrong, it's a brilliant car. Like the 911, it's also taught me a bit of a lesson that I really am getting soft in terms of what I like in my cars. There's a beautiful big stereo here on the screen, lovely big screen, loads of different options, all that kind of stuff. And of course I set in and got my big finger and started trying to touch the screen and been like, bloody thing's broken, it's not working. Whereas then I realized it's actually surrounded by loads of buttons which you're supposed to press and which you're supposed to do different things. So yeah, totally my own fault. I am getting old. You see, it turned the knob and everything works there. We'll go back here. What's the GPS look like, I wonder? We are in Ireland. No. You know what? I'm driving. It's not my car. We'll just we'll pretend we didn't see that. Lovely car. Other than that, the interior is so well built. Feels like this car is just shy of 61,000 miles. Does not feel like it has that many miles up in it. It feels like a lot less. Interior is beautiful. Like, style-wise, if I wanted a car, this is exactly what I think I'd want. Comfort-wise, it has the comfort I like. It has the rawness. It's funny though. I think the E36 was just that little bit more entertaining to be in. Seats are lovely and comfortable. Harman Kardon CD player, lovely climate control system. The manual gearbox again, 6-speed manual like the E36. Beautiful gearbox, lovely change in it. 3.2 litre straight 6 engine. Again, no turbocharging here, and again, in my opinion, all the better for it. It's a much nicer engine, something you can really get on board with. Again, we have the optional indicators installed in this particular one, and they work even better. Sorry, BMW owners, it's a cheap pop. Give it the beans for a second, and yeah, it certainly responds. And we won't go anything above that because that would be over 100 kilometers an hour, and that's not what we're here to do. So yeah, it settles down then into 6th gear, 100 kilometers an hour, and it's actually lovely and comfortable. And that's really it. Beautiful finish. Of course, all the M models have the black interior lining. Beautiful sport seats, nice sunroof as well. My own 318 Ci had that. I know a 318 is not in any way comparable to this, but sorry, it's just the closest thing I have in terms of this particular body style. Lovely finish on the outside. The spoiler additions, they're very subtle. The wing mirrors, very subtle, but the bigger alloys, they all set the M3 apart though from a regular BMW E46 coupe. Of course, between the coupes and the saloons, there's actually very little commonality, although they look very similar. Pretty much none of the panels can be transferred over apart from the bonnet, as far as I'm aware. Everything else is specific to the coupes. Now, I know BMW at the minute is taking an interesting direction with their styling, but the new 4 Series, I've seen one around, an M3 in Phoenix yellow, and I have to say, I actually think it's a looker. Forgive me, but I really do. Grant, the front is a bit, it's a little bit challenging, the new kidney grills, but from every single other angle, it looks beautiful, it looks perfect, and it reminds me of the E46. The E46 for me, I know I'm saying that this car maybe isn't as engaging as the E36, but for me, as an all-round package, I think this is a brilliant car, absolutely brilliant. It's definitely up there in my top 3 if I could ever have one, ever afford one. This is what I'd be having. The E46 is the E36 a little bit rawer, more engaging, more entertaining. This one's a little bit more comfortable, probably a better everyday car. And I know I've already said that, I'm repeating myself a little bit, but it's just the thoughts that are coming to mind. Backseat space, there's loads of it. 2 adults back there, no problem, they're going to be pretty comfortable. Loads of boot space, so lovely and practical as the Germans like to be. Interior wise, I can see 3 M badges, and that's it. That's the only reason I would know that this is anything special. 1 on the dials, 1 on the steering wheel, 1 on the gearbox. Again, typical understated German approach to things. Rear view mirror, lovely little detail, lovely little styling, and these lights, I always love these. It's like crystal display or something up there. It just looks great. Again, really comfortable car. We've electric seats, we have loads of different traction aids, and of course that I'd need them. I definitely need them. And yeah, you know, it's a brilliant all-round package. Again, it's not my car, I'm not here to rag it. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say, yeah, if you took it around a track, I'm sure it will handle beautifully. I'm sure it'll be very entertaining, and in typical BMW fashion, I'm sure the dashboard would light up like a Christmas tree as well if you tried having too much fun in it. So, things to watch out for in these. In the rear, the subframe can start to, not disintegrate, but it can start to crack, and it can give you some very, very hairy handling, and obviously it'll really badly affect the car. So if you are interested in buying one of these, please check that out. And please, I'm driving a big yellow car, don't drive out in front of me. Please check that out if you are looking at one of these. It's a major issue. It can be fixed, it can be rectified, but it is expensive, and I am aware of a couple of M3s that have gone on the market that look absolutely perfect, but that's an issue with them. When it comes to buying an original Irish M3, rust shouldn't be that big an issue. It is an issue which affects these cars in general, but it shouldn't really be an issue with an Irish car because we don't salt the roads that often. However, if you are importing from the UK, you are going to have to check it for rust. That's in the panels and in the structure itself as well, because they do suffer quite badly from it. And hopefully, I'm assuming BMW have gone on and rectified that issue in the newer ones, because to be buying a car in the early 2000s and being worried about rust, that's pretty pathetic, BMW. So I hope you've fixed that. Other than that, this car is just beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's softer, it's more refined. I could definitely live with this car on a daily basis. So yeah, listen, with that, I've kind of said it's a lovely car, lovely all-rounder. And again, thank you very much to all those people who gave a call out to me in an email. Really appreciate it. Other than that, we'll talk to you again next week, and hopefully we'll have something nice and interesting then to take out. Thank you all very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and send me an email as well if you'd like to offer your car to the channel. Thank you all very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.